She watch
on my Instagram, all on my Twitter page.
Retweet. Duck face on me.
She on her timeline.
She lurk.
On her Instagram,
Taking pictures.
all on her Twitter
Them
page.
pretty lips. Duck face on me.
She on my timeline,
She
my
watch.
timeline, my Instagram, my Instagram, my Twitter page, my Twitter page.
Duck face on me.
Her timeline, her Instagram, her Instagram, her Twitter page, her Twitter page.
Duck face on me.
She's on my timeline, my Instagram, my Instagram, my Twitter page, my Twitter page.
Duck face on me.
She's on her timeline.
What's going on, Lena? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am doing great. So this is the Man versus Woman show. I'm one of your hosts, the boy Suave.
And I'm your girl, Lena Love. I'm like, is he gonna introduce himself? Like,
Oh my god, I did. Oh my god.
it
So-
all flowed into each other. That's why I was like, okay.
Gotta do better. So we're here with another one, man. Season 3, episode 19 on this thing, man. So today we are talking about Deadweight and being in love with it. So what we're referring to is you just wasting your time with people that you shouldn't have wasted time with. You know, they just pulling you down. When you think about Deadweight, it's just they're pulling you down. But you like them, you know, maybe you want them to change or whatever the case is, but you're still with them for some reason, you know, even though that they're dragging you down and you know they're not good for you. There's plenty of relationships like that. How do you feel about that, Lena?
I definitely do think that's a thing that does happen. A lot of people won't admit things like that, but yeah, honestly, for me, it's a big waste of your time to like put your time and effort into something that's just dead weight for you, knowing damn well that they probably don't feel the same way. It's definitely a waste of time. So, but you would be surprised how many people will actually put up with that. And it does take a lot for certain people to realize it at some point, because everybody has their breaking point. And at some point they'll realize and they'll learn to let that person go. But yeah, it's something that sucks. I mean, it happened to me recently, kind of with a situation, and I finally let it go, you know, and I'm in a good relationship now, and everything. So it's, you know, definitely affect people.
I think that sometimes when we get in those relationships, those kind of relationships, we really don't know until it's too late. Not only that, we hold on to it thinking that whatever we met at the beginning, that's what's going to be. And it end up not being that ever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because we have this hope of something changing, and then it never changed. It's like, dang, okay. A lot of times we break off with that person when something real bad happened, you know, a bad argument, whatever it is, it ends up in a bad breakup. You know what I'm saying? One of those that'll go down in the books. You're like, man, dude, like, now I'm not talking about if you meet someone and their life is not where your life is, and they're working on it though, and they just have to get up there. Those people I tend to stay with, you know what I'm saying, to help them along and even be a part of their building on where they're trying to accomplish. So for example, if they're in school and, you know, they have no job, but, you know, they're in school, they're trying to progress in life, there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that person is their way at all. I think they're trying to work towards having something, because that person could be in school to be a doctor, and then, you know, they went through all that not having for so many years, and then they become a doctor, and all of a sudden they got a house bigger than anybody in the neighborhood.
Right, bigger than anything.
You know, so definitely not talking about those type of people. I am definitely talking about people that's negative, like negative energy to you. You know, you want to be something positive. You want to progress, and this person is not seeing it that way. They just want to stay the same old them, which is not where you're at. You know what I'm saying? And no progress at all. They just, for example, just want to stay at their mom's house, you know, forever. And a lot of people that works for them, but for some, it's like, no, I want to move on, and we have our own place and do this. You know what I'm saying? I want to start my own life, and if that person is not on the same level as you, then you got to be like,
Right. I was
it's
gonna
probably
say
not gonna work.
there's ways for you to tell when someone's just gonna be dead weight for you, and that's when you sit here and you express things that you want for you guys together as a couple for the future, and they say okay, 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 but they don't do nothing to move forward with that, you know.
Hmm.
There's definitely different signs to know someone's gonna be dead weight. You know, if you're expressing yourself to them and they kind of just look, turn back to you as if they don't care, that's dead weight. That's then they're just showing that, they don't feel the same way that you feel about them.
I think.
Um,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
and so there's just different things you can look at, but definitely with that though, if you are making plans for the both of you guys for the future and they're aware of those plans, but they don't want to do anything to move forward with those plans with you, then they're just dead weight. That just means they didn't really see anything going further than what you probably would have imagined, and you're now holding on to this person because you're being so hopeful, but then one day you just need to wake up and realize, like, okay, it's not going anywhere. You are going to be dead weight to me, and then you just gotta learn to let that person go.
Hmm. I think that if you have a conversation about what your goals are, or idea of what your goals, both your goals are, that would be a start. Maybe not at the beginning of the relationship, because at the beginning of the relationship, whatever you see, you're gonna enjoy, and then you want to enjoy that time with that person. But somewhere when y'all to move forward and now things are getting a little bit more serious, maybe you want to sit down with that person and be like, hey, um, let's map out our goals, or where are we going with this? You know what I'm saying? This is what I want to do. I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. And I eventually want to end up here, and then see if that person goals can blend in with y'all doing things, as a unit. If they say something that's like disturbed, like for example, well, we're dating, but the other person say they don't want to be married, and you want to be married, you want to get married eventually, then right then, don't try to fight it. Don't try to think that that person's going to change their mind along the way. That's just not what they're into. So you may need to look at different ways. Or if, that person says that they don't want kids, but you want kids, or it could be vice versa. You don't want kids, but that person wants kids. That's going to bump heads with each other. You know what I'm saying? So knowing that ahead of time would prevent you a lot of trouble, and you won't have to deal with, oh, okay, then I married this person, I'm with this person, and this person is saying, well, the person that said they wanted to have kids, they're talking about kids, and you're like, no, I talked to you about that. I didn't want kids, but you really want kids, but now you
Right.
ain't got married. So now you're in a situation where some people, they would either think about divorce or um, continue on with that person, not
Yeah.
having what they want or what they desire. You know, now I'm against divorce. If you can avoid it, avoid it. You know what I'm saying? I do understand there's some situations where it's needed, but if it's something like that and you guys have already talked about it ahead of time, don't marry that person. They had already told you what they do
Yeah,
not want.
especially if you
You
already
know.
know beforehand what their wishes are and where their mind is at,
Mm-hmm.
like, then you should already know that's not going to work out, because when you're ready to have that in your life, they already agreed to not have that, period. So it's definitely, those things like you just have to think about. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then you just carrying on and it feels like an overwhelming force. That is
right.
that dead weight, that thing that you're like uncomfortable with in a relationship, and you're like, hey man, well, why did I do this? Because you
Right.
had hopes of this
And you
person
start
changing,
overthinking everything
you
and
know.
questioning everything like, was this the right choice? And
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a strain. So definitely conversation, man. Conversation is one of those things that really breaks the ice and um, alleviate a lot of things that you can avoid. You could avoid a lot of things if you just communicate with a person before you get in too deep with that person. Now if y'all just dating, y'all have this conversation, you're like, oh, okay. Well, they're not into, they just want to date. They don't want to get serious one day, anything. Then you have to make a decision how long you want to ride this out before you go your separate ways. You know what I'm saying? Because even then, at that point, you may be like, well, I do want to just date right now, but I eventually want to be in a relationship with someone. So if you still in that I'm just dating phase, then continue to date that person. If you at that phase where you want to get serious and that person not, then maybe it's that time for y'all to part ways. Because if you don't, then it's gonna be dead wait time. That's what you're gonna be asking for. Um, you have to look at the signs while they're giving them to you. If they already tell them that and you're offering that, then there's no need for you to be like, well, I didn't do this, I didn't do anything to do it,
Right.
when they told you already. Um, have you heard the saying that a person will tell you eventually who they are if you just give
Oh
them
yeah.
time?
Yeah, I've
You know
heard
what I'm
that before.
saying?
I've heard that plenty of times before. And I remember when I was younger, I used to be like, what? That sounds so dumb. And then as I got older, I'm like, no, that's a real thing. Like you over time you will eventually know like who that person is. And it's because they'll show you. Just over time they'll show you. And you would start to realize it and they'd be like, but that's not me, that's not me. But it is you. And you don't realize that that's you because other people don't tell you that that's who you are.
Hmm. So Leah has a statement in the comment now. She says that a lot of people are fixers too and think
Hmm.
they can change others. Yeah, I do believe that. And sometimes it helps, and you can help bring that person to different ideals and everything. But then sometimes people don't want to be changed. Like if you see that this person has no idea, they have a dream, but they don't know how to get there and they're doing things the wrong way, helping that person or fixing that person, is a very positive thing because they have no idea. They saying it like, oh, I'm gonna do this and do this, but they don't have a plan. And then that the information that they need to get there, so you can help them along. Now, if it's something dealing with their person that they already are, they set in, and this is who they are, then you shouldn't change that person because there's no changing anyway. They're gonna be that person, even secretly. If it goes as far as marriage, they're gonna still be that person. You didn't change anything. You just stuck with that person. Um, you didn't. I know a person that they changed their religion to be with another person.
Oh
You
yeah, no,
know, so,
that's
so
crazy.
that's a little deep. It's like, man, what are you? Are you like secretly believing in your religion when
Right.
she's not around? You know what I'm saying? Like, why did you do this? I mean, even go as far as moving to a whole nother country. That's deep. It's like, dang,
See,
dude,
you
you
have to really, really, really love that person to want to move to a whole new country, all that stuff. Because for
Dude,
me,
you gotta really be into that person if you just changing
right,
religion.
because that's you're just up and changing your like you're literally up and changing your life for somebody else. And
Yeah,
what if things don't work out between you and that person? Now you're gonna have regret for your like you're gonna regret the changes you made yourself for someone else because things didn't work out.
dude, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Whatever that woman have, I don't want. Because if if it's strong enough to make me change religion, man, my faith, oh no, that's a lot, man. That's powerful.
That is a
That's
lot. That's a
powerful.
lot. That's a lot.
Dude, I don't want what that is. I don't know what it is, but I don't want to sip that tea, metaphorically speaking. I don't want to sip that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a
Right.
tea drinker. I love tea.
I'm a
But that
teacher.
type of tea I will avoid. I'm good. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Uh, Shoot, you heard people say, man, you get lost in the sauce. I don't want to get lost in that sauce. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want it. You know, it's gonna make me be something that I'm not, and then I become a zombie. So I'm not even thinking for myself anymore. You
Yeah.
know.
See, someone who used to be a friend of mine, because we're no longer friends, but someone who used to be a friend of mine, they used to say, that'll make you do some crazy things. And I'd be
Mm,
like, and all the time I'd be like, bro, what are you talking about? But then I realized like what he was really trying to say. Like some people will get a little taste of that, and all of a sudden they change it for that person just
yeah.
from that itself. And I'm like, that's crazy. I mean, women do it too. That women can't say that they don't, because I know some
It
women that
worked
do it
both
too.
ways.
But
Yeah, it worked
right, it
both
goes both
ways.
ways. So like, you just get a little taste of it, and all of a sudden your mind is like,
Yeah.
you're not yourself anymore. Now you want to do everything to make that person want to like you, love you, all kinds of stuff. So honestly,
Mm-hmm.
that, I mean, that's why a lot of people would be like, "Yeah, I'll up and move for you." Like that for me, that just wasn't gonna work for me with the situation that I was in, the situationship I was in. They were moving to Florida in the next couple months to a year. I don't want to live in Florida. So
Right.
I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not moving for someone that won't even commit to me for one. Like I'm just
Right.
not doing that. So
Oh, dude, you're gonna
um
end up there. They're gonna get
oh no,
mad
I'm
at
not.
you
But
and
I'm
leave you at
not.
a bus stop
Listen,
somewhere.
I
You like
live
lost,
I
looking all
I
careless.
left I left all that alone. I left all that alone, and I'm in the relationship that I'm in now. It's
Hmm.
it's great. Like, it's a it's a really good relationship. I haven't been in a relationship this good in a long time. So feels nice for me to be like, man, I'm actually genuinely happy. Like this person
Congrats, man.
genuinely
Congrats.
makes me happy. And I'm like, okay, Lena, it took for you to finally let stuff go to
Hmm.
allow yourself to be with someone that I'm with now. And it's
Hmm.
great.
That's good, man.
So
I think that because you had said something just a while ago. I think if oh yeah, if it's a situation where you leaving a person, let's say for example, you get with someone that
mhm.
your family don't agree with. So let's say that, and this is very common. Let's say that you are one race and your significant other is a different race, and
Mhm.
then you introduce them to your family, and your family don't approve of that person, and you totally, you know, leave back away from your
Yeah.
family. So your family disown you because you with this person. It's hey, it's either you or them. You know,
Or
you
us,
choose
yeah.
that person. I'm totally okay with that. 100%. I'm down with that because that's something simple. You love this person. You want to be happy. You
Right.
deserve to be happy. You don't need anybody's blessing to be happy with someone. You know what I'm saying? That
Right.
you don't need that. So if you looking for your family to up and change, and that's the reason why you want to be with that person, you will never be happy. You will never be
Yeah, that'll
truly
never
happy.
happen.
You know, if
Now, one
you're
thing I
trying to
will
please your
say is,
family, you're not trying to please
right.
yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Now, with a situation like that, I mean, me personally, there have been a few people and a few significant others that my family has introduced me to, and for me personally, oh, thank you, Leah. For me personally, I would tell them straight up, listen, I do not like you. However, you make such and such happy, I will tolerate you because of their happiness. But that don't mean you're gonna see me around. No, nothing. Because at the end of the day, I mean, you don't affect my life. So why do I really need to be around? Granted, that
Hmm.
means I don't see that family member that often, but when I do feel like, all right, maybe I should go see this person, then that's when I'll tolerate them for about an hour or two. Other than that, I don't really got to speak to you. No, nothing. You're nothing to me. Now, if they
Hmm.
marry them, that's kind of a different situation. I mean, for instance, with my mom, I mean, I told my mom, listen, if that man makes you happy, good for you, kudos for you, it's great. I will tolerate him because that's who makes you happy, but don't
Hmm.
expect me to really be around because I can't be around that man for
Hmm.
long. So um but I'm getting better with seeing my mom a lot more though. But
That's good.
when I know he's around, I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna go now, because
Now
just him
I'm
and
gonna
I,
say
we
this.
don't. you know.
Don't make. I'm gonna say this though, Lena. With that, I think that at some point, maybe because this is your mom ain't going nowhere. Your mom's
It is.
happy. Um, maybe you want to try to make an attempt to try to get to another person. You
Oh
know?
no. I know this man. I have my reasons for why I don't like this man,
Oh,
and
I
my mom is
understand.
very, very aware of it. And
Okay,
I'm not the only one out of her kids who don't really like that man all that well. So
you have your
yeah.
reasons. I got you.
Yep.
Not gonna touch that. So, man, this has been another episode of Man versus Woman. You heard our views. I'm Suave.
I'm Lena Love.
See, I be throwing the alley up to you, man. I be wanting you to dump the hell out of that shit, man. Like shit. So this has been another one, man. Stay tuned for next week. Wednesday, we are going to have another good show. I want us to this month is women. Is it Women History or Women
It's
Appreciation?
Women's History Month.
Women
It's
History
Women's
Month. Okay.
History Month. So, like we did, well, remember how we did for
Mm-hmm.
last year's Women's History Month? You know, we did like a 2-part thing where,
Right.
each week we talked about different women in history and stuff like that, which was
Mm-hmm.
cool. And I think we had Purple on for one of those episodes, which was
Right.
cool as well
We
because
gotta
she
be
was a
doing another
person
episode like that.
who's a veteran. So it was great to have her on the show and share her experience with that as well. So
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, it'll be cool to have,
So,
women guests on
oh
for
yeah.
at least one of the days for this month.
So that's what we're aiming for. Anyone out there that's watching this would like to be on a guest on the show, you're more than welcome to do that. Of course, you have to be a female, you know what I'm saying? So we're talking about women appreciation. Shout out to all the women out there, man, because this is not even though it's a 50-50 thing on making a child, but I commend you for carrying that child because, before abortion was illegal in a lot of states,
Right.
you had a choice. You could have been like, nah, I don't want that child, yada yada. So I commend you for making it and going through that process because I don't ever want to be pregnant. It seems like a difficult thing. So I definitely commend you on that. I tell people, man, women are warriors, you know what I'm saying, to even give birth. If you're a woman and you gave birth, oh my goodness, dude, you are a soldier in my eye.
Yeah,
So
power to you.
ultra power. We're gonna give you some ultra power. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely something that I don't want to experience and I'm not jealous of, So
Yeah.
shout out to all you females out there. We love you. Keep on doing your thing. Be on the lookout for a woman's appreciation episode of Man versus Woman coming this month. So until next time, peace. Free my grandma.
My timeline,
She watch,
on my Instagram,
blowing kiss,
all on my Twitter page.
retweet, the face on me,
She on her timeline,
she lurk,
on her Instagram,
taking pics,
all on her Twitter
the pretty
page.
lips, the face on me,
She on my timeline,
she
my
watch,
timeline, my Instagram,
blowing
my
kiss,
Instagram, my Twitter page, my Twitter
retweet,
page.
the face on me,
Her timeline, her timeline, her Instagram, her Instagram, her Twitter page, her Twitter page.
the face on me,
On my timeline, my timeline, my Instagram, my Instagram, my Twitter page, my Twitter page.
the face on me.